Awesome. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of Queries from the Multiverse. I am Jedi Master Tuck, as always, filling in for the head geek, Ben. And I have a special guest with me today. I have somebody that we've been on.
You're mute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my God, something happened to my computer.
Let me do that all over again. That's fine. Let me start over.
Where's John to help me? Please don't let this be me.
Nope, that was me. I must have hit my thing. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's all good.
All right, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is another episode of Queries from the Multiverse. I am Jedi Master Tuck. I am filling in for the head geek, Ben, as always, and I am here with somebody that, so she has been on our channel a few times, and we have been on her and John's channel, Movie Lovers Unite, a few times, and we've worked with her a few times, and I wanted to get her on here, guys, so you guys could get to know her, and I could get to know her a little better too, and what got her into this crazy geek world that we live in and love so much. But without any further ado, I'm going to bring on Rossie from Movie Lovers Unite. Rossie, how are we doing tonight?
Hi guys, I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know what? I'm good. Having a good day, so I'm doing very good, I guess. But yeah, so we've done a few shows together so far now. And well, I first met you was with the Last of Us review, which was really fun.
Right.
So that was always a good thing to do every week. I love doing that because that show's great. Right. Yeah. And that was a great panel that we had on that show too. So that was always fun. But no, we sort of have bonded recently over our video game love. But I wanted to start off. Let's just kind of start off simple. Where did you grow up? I mean, where did you live? You know, growing up.
Well, I lived in Merced, California, until I was about 12 years old. We moved around a lot. And I ended up living up and down the West Coast, California. And at 13, we moved up to the Northwest and lived in Washington for a while, but grew up in Oregon, high school and on, Portland, Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So mom, dad, siblings?
Yeah. A single mother. Had a stepdad. Our dad lived in Mississippi. We all were just always on the West Coast. We finally went to go see our dad when we were in 8th grade and went to go live in Mississippi for a few months. Yay. Couldn't wait to get back to the West Coast, but the South was beautiful. But I'm a Northwest, West Coast girl, and mom was just, she moved around a lot. We just moved around a lot, you know. If she didn't like a place, it would be like, let me look at the map and see where we're going. And she'd always pick these little small rural towns, you know? Yeah, but she did good with Oregon because it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful in Oregon.
I've heard very good thing. Yeah, that's a place I would definitely love to, the Redwood Forest.
Yes.
I'd definitely love to see that. Yeah,
right.
Stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Okay, so you said you went to high school in Portland.
Yeah, I went to high school actually in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
And I left Seattle when we actually lived in the suburbs of Seattle, so Auburn, Washington. And I left there when I was 19, my husband and I, a boyfriend at the time, and we moved to the coast because my mother had this business in Seaside, Oregon. And we're we're young, so we're let's go live at the beach. And it was beautiful. We lived there for a few years and then landed in Portland, Oregon.
That's so funny because I met my wife, and we moved here almost 10 years ago to Florida. We're from Maryland originally, and it was just kind of one of those things like taxes. We had the money, and we didn't really have much to catch up on as far as bills went. And we both wanted to live here eventually anyway. And she was like, "Let's go." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we moved to Florida from Maryland, beaches and palm trees. And,
Same thing. We had just a little 1-year-old or 2-year-old at the time, and we're like, we have nothing left here. We don't want to be here. The beach sounds like fun. We're young, so get the kid and get in the truck, and we headed off to freaking like within weeks. Within weeks we were out.
Yep. No, you're gonna be miserable in life either way. You might as well be somewhere beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes, I agree.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Okay, so you said you guys were 19, so I'm assuming you guys met in high school or around that time.
Right. We met when it was my first job. I worked at this pizza place called Shakey's, and it was right after my 15th birthday. So my mom's like, "You need a job," and I wasn't trying to work, it was just too busy being a teenager and a young mom. And
sure.
Went there and met my husband. He actually was my trainer. And we worked at this pizza place. I started there as like a 15-year-old. And by the time I left, I was managing and doing all that. So it was an awesome first job. Pizza places, you meet the most interesting, salt of the earth people.
I worked in restaurants my whole life. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, definitely. My first job was I was a dishwasher for my aunt in a kitchen, but I also worked next door. They also owned a pizza shop, Italian store, sub shop type area. Yeah. So I worked in there also a little bit. So yeah, no, definitely.
Hard work, man.
That's fun. It is. No, it is.
It's hard work. I would go there after school and do my homework and head across the street to the pizza place. And, I'm this just young, impressionable young girl. And, everyone else is a little older, but everyone else is a character. It's just, I mean, they taught me so much at that young age, and in them watching me grow up and then managing the place. But I'm a restaurant worker. I enjoyed hospitality to where I was like, I think this is what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm a server. Yeah.
I loved it until a point when I couldn't turn it on anymore. I couldn't turn on I could easily walk up to a table and be like, this is one of the best stories I have. I was working at Fridays, and there was this group of, it was 3 middle-aged ladies. They weren't older, they weren't younger, middle-aged, I would say. And I just sat down with them, and I was like, so we're all gonna have a beer, right? That was literally the first thing I said to them. I could turn it on, but there was just a point where I just couldn't anymore. And I was like, it's time to move on. So, but yeah, no, I loved it for a very long time. I really did. I worked in a lot of great places, though. I worked at Fridays for a long time.
Nice.
Dave and Buster's was one of the best places to work ever as a server.
Love Dave and Buster's.
But yeah, okay. So well, I guess how long have you guys been together now?
Let's see. June 27th coming up will be 30 years. 30 years together.
30 years.
Yeah. Awesome. We grew up together. I mean, that's just, he wouldn't leave and I wouldn't leave. And we tried that, it just, he ended up being my buddy. We just hung out at work. It was no dating, I didn't even know he liked me. I just thought he was funny as, heck, and made me laugh. And we just, make fun of customers that came in and just, and next thing you know, we're on a date. And then, some odd years later, 2 kids and all of that.
That's great, though. No, that really is. That's great. That's great that you guys could be friends first, because that is very rare. It's very rare. So
gotta be friends.
Yeah. So you guys already had sort of a connection just in that sense. So yeah,
absolutely
a lot easier. So no, that's great, though. Seriously, congratulations. 30 years is a long time. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So I guess where I want to go then is, in high school or in school, did you do any plays or were you into anything like that, or okay?
Yeah. Okay. I was a creative, kind of to myself, I didn't play outside a lot, but when I did, I played with the neighborhood kids, but I was just more in my head. I like to pretend. I like to watch a lot of TV and then go and act, out different strokes, you know what I mean? Different little shows. So, starting in grade school, if there was something coming up, and I was, by the way, mind you, I'm a very shy, quiet person. I mean, a mouse. So it was odd for me to get on stage and want to do these things, but I would do these things, and I would I entered in a poetry contest because I love writing and poems. And I remember getting on a stage and forgetting the whole poem and just standing up there, and I peed myself, and I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And you would think that would stop me. It didn't. I would go back and just get better, played Rudolph and Rudolph reindeer play.
Okay.
And then just did drama throughout, middle school and high school, and got a little bit more serious with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Any like memorable or roles that you really enjoyed playing?
Yeah. Let's see. I think I was in 8th grade. Yeah, 8th grade. I went to a Lakota Junior High and Federal Way, Washington, and they had this beautiful drama studio set up at the school. So I tried out for my first play, and first real play where I'm playing a part, and I ended up getting a part of this girl named Kelly, and it was middle school kids camping out in the gymnasium, and it's supposed to be haunted, and I think it was called Haunted High or something like that. But we performed in front of the whole school, and that was just, I loved that. I loved being on stage, and I thought I wanted to do stage work, because I love stage. And so that was the most memorable play in school that made me really want to go out for acting, but definitely be a stage actress.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, I gave into the peer pressure because I was into everything like that,
Yeah.
but I could, the 90s, you couldn't show that. You couldn't be cool and try to,
Right.
Like, I didn't even talk about Star Wars for years because I was so scared somebody would know that I was a Star Wars fan and like that, so
yeah.
That was a weird time to grow up, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, especially for you guys, because my husband, I'm like, he's really funny and he's really dramatic. I'm like, you should have been a drama student. He's like, my dad would have killed me.
Right.
He's like, my dad would have killed me if I would have joined drama, because there was such a stigma that was just for girls, and the boys that joined it, were kind of sweet or something like that. But they were the most creative kids in school. I got to work with the most creative girls and boys in school.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, you said you were always creative, or you liked being creative. So where did the sort of geeky stuff come in? Was it, same as everybody else back then? Ninja Turtles, He-Man, all that kind of stuff? What was it?
What's funny is I wasn't into a lot of Star Wars. I didn't see Star Wars until I was in my teens or late. When I got with my husband, he introduced me to Star Wars and stuff like that. But I had a love for video games.
Video games. Okay.
I remember the Atari, and a friend had the Atari, and I remember just being fascinated with the fact that you're able to play this on your TV. With these, little game cartridges, whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. But it was so cool at the time, right? And then, my dad gets us, when we're living in Mississippi, the first Christmas, he gets us a Nintendo, and we wanted that so bad. And I remember I played Mario Brothers for the first time, and that's where I geeked out. I mean, I had to get all the games, all the Mario Brothers games. And then the Friday the 13th game came out, and the Crystal Lake. Remember that one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember that game.
That was so
I got killed in that cave so many times.
Right. Yes. Yes. I never got out of a certain area. And I remember I'd be in that same area, but it was really hard because you're trying to get away from him. And it was so hard. But I was just, from that point, I was just that's where my game geekdom started.
Okay.
But later on in years, when I played Resident Evil, the first one,
I couldn't play Resident Evil 2 in the dark by myself.
Really?
I couldn't play it by myself. It was literally the scariest game I ever played in my life. I was literally freaking it. The police station scene. The police station level.
Yes.
After that level, I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm gonna play
I would sit and play the first one. I was like, because I just, I was playing Sega, and we had, remember when Sega TV was out, so we paid for that, went broke to pay for Sega TV. It was so expensive, but it was the coolest thing.
It was awesome.
So then PlayStation come out, and it had came out. We were able to afford our first PlayStation. Resident Evil. I remember the 3D characters and just, what the hell is this? What is this mansion? Like, I'm doing side-scrolling games. This is a full-on mansion, and gone from that point. I would be up all night. Son has to go to school, and I haven't slept. I'm up getting them off to school so I can come back and play Resident Evil before I have to go to work. I was just blown away. The
one that blew me away, I think, was the first Tomb Raider. And you know what level it was? It's the training level in the mansion in the very beginning.
Yes,
I would play that for hours, just that level, over and over again.
Absolutely.
I don't know why,
funnest level
I would
ever.
play it over. Yeah,
so true.
Yeah,
there's so much to do in that training level.
You're just like, what is this? Like, because you said, it was the first time you were in an actual 3D world, and you're just like, this is so weird. Like,
it was the weirdest. I mean, climbing, shooting, you know, the monsters. I mean, it was just, you know, that Fatal Frame game. Now that was the first game, of course, years later that I could not play in the dark. That was that one freaked me out. The ghost and the camera, I couldn't play it at nighttime. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, for me, it was like I said, it was Resident Evil 2, and then Silent Hill, the first Silent Hill game. Man, that game is creepy. That game is creepy when you're by yourself, man.
Yes, it is. It really is. Yeah.
So yeah,
the best.
No, it was because we don't. I don't think I've ever got that type of feeling recently because I'm just so spoiled on games now.
Yeah,
like, you know. So now, like, I played Hogwarts Legacy. I am a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, I loved playing the game, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. I have to play it 17 hours a day. Like it just, I don't have that same, you know, and I get we're spoiled, but
we are spoiled. I remember, you know, Hogwarts Legacy, the new one that came out, that was my first time playing a Harry Potter game. I wouldn't give them a chance. I didn't think I would like them. I'm telling you.
The new one? The Lego ones? No, the Lego ones.
I played some of the Lego games, but not the Harry Potter. The open world one that just came out. Let me tell you, I spent so many hours. Every day that I had off, I had to play a little bit of that. I was just like, this is the best game I've ever played. And then I was able to use the broom and fly around. I'm like, why have I never played these games? I've missed so much with the Harry Potter.
It is. It's actually a really good game. The only problem I have with it still, and I think they'll probably do it eventually, but they have to add Quidditch. They have to.
Okay.
I don't think you can have a Harry Potter game and not add Quidditch. I just think it's too big and too much a part of that, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah. But other than that, I do think it's a near perfect game. I really do. It's very close.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's so much fun. I have the Thestral.
I don't think I've even gotten that far yet.
It's the mount with the wings, but it's the ones that you can only see if you've encountered death.
Okay. I haven't.
Have you seen? Well, you've seen the movies, right?
I've seen not all, but I've seen a movie because, like I said, my kids were into Harry Potter. I would read the books to them, you know, at night for their, you know, reading time. So I know of, but it was just it got by me. No, I was into the Lord of the Rings at the time, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I was really into the Lord of the Rings. I think that was one of the first games or not game series, movie series that I was just blown away with. I love Lord of the Rings. Absolutely.
Yeah. See, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, obviously, but I will always say Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy that we've ever got in movies.
Yes.
It's just so good. It's just so good. It really is.
My husband's a Star Wars. I mean, just, like I said, I've sat down. He's like, I got to introduce you to this and watch the first one, watch the second one, and then the newer ones. And he told me the problem with the newer ones that he has, you know, and you know what I mean? And all that stuff. And I'm trying to keep up with, okay, you don't like, okay. So
I think that's the problem with Star Wars is there's just so like, yes, not a lot of people like the Hobbit movies, but there's nothing confusing in Lord of the Rings. You know, you can understand it. Yes. Star Wars is so because the original trilogy is the middle trilogy, and then the next trilogy is the original. So I get it for people that don't know what the hell's going on. Like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
I was lost. I'm like, but this one's out before He's like, this is how it goes. And he gets frustrated. He's like, we'll watch and I'll explain to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I do agree with that. It is very confusing. And then there's so much animated and comic books and books that you have to know. And it can be for people that don't that didn't, don't know it and didn't grow up with it or, whatever. So yeah, I can understand that. I mean, look, I know a lot about Star Wars, but I used to watch the Schmodown and I would watch the Star Wars matches and I'm like, I don't know anything about Star Wars. I know nothing about Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole world. I mean, it's crazy, but I know it's popular. I know people love it, and I do get that people are the newer ones that come out. They have an issue with the newer ones, and newer characters and all that. So I know that's a series that people are if they're into it, they're into it.
Yeah, no, but getting back to the Lord of the Rings though, just when that came out, it was literally mind blowing. I mean, seeing these characters really come to life. I mean, that scene in the mines at the end of the first one with the Balrog, where you shall not pass, that was insane. Like, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like,
I was blown away by the hobbits, the town they lived in, them leaving, and the forest where the trees are all talking and coming to life. I mean, the costumes. I mean, it was just, you got lost in that world when you'd watch, so yeah, I really loved them. I remember for Christmas, my son, he loved the Lord of the Rings, and his grandparents got him the trilogy with extra. I mean, oh my gosh, the extra stuff is ridiculous. Every alternate scene so long. It's like a whole movie.
Yeah. I can't watch them now though without watching the extended versions. That's so funny though. That is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I have to watch the extended versions now. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I just being blown away by those movies when they came out, and just not really knowing, because I didn't know about the books. I mean, I knew they existed, but I never read them before that. So that was my introduction to it, and which. It's so weird because I'm definitely one of them snobs now, because I'm like, man, they could have been so much better. They didn't add Tom Bombadil. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. But I still love them, obviously. So yeah, that's funny. So what other games? What other games, did you play that? I mean, because obviously, like you said, Nintendo, Sega. I mean, Sonic. I would assume.
Oh yeah, definitely Sonic. Never passed. Never finished the game, but loved putting it on, playing it. I thought PlayStation did a good job at revamping Sonic. But other than the horror games that I would play, love shooters. Let's see. There's a character, I can't call the name of the game, but his name was Gabe. And he was like, before Splinter Cell, it was this guy. And it was the first game where you can strafe, and you had a selection of guns. I can't think of his, and my husband's going to kill me. Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter. Okay.
I remember
Siphon Filter.
Absolutely.
Watching my husband play Siphon Filter, because at that time, I didn't know if I would want to play shooters. I enjoyed watching him play shooters. And so when he was playing Siphon Filter, I remember him giving me the controller and playing a little bit of it. Love the series. They did that so well at the time that it came out. So, but I love like Parasite Eve. The first time I put that first one on, what an immense story, the mitochondria DNA and the whole story. And she's a detective, and this strain has been released, and it's affecting people, animals, turning them into monsters. And it was the first game where, the first type of game that I played, was it turn-based or something like that, where, you set the traps up or whatever spells you're going to use, whatever. You also have a gun, but the story was crazy. And I just played all of the Parasite Eves, 42 hours. And then Sumner, role-playing games, Sumner 1 and 2, those were amazing at the time. Your top-down view games. And so I loved the Sumner series. And that's when I started getting into the role-playing games. Love role-playing games.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
Right.
Mind blown when I first put that game on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Did you play Oblivion?
Yes, I played them all.
Yeah.
I played
Okay.
them all, and I'm waiting for 6 to come out.
Yeah, Skyrim was amazing. I
Oh,
remember losing myself in that game for a
right,
long time. A long
right.
time. I literally, just to see how long it would take, I walked across the whole map
Oh my
just
gosh.
to see how long it would take.
Right. Have
Now
done
I can't
that.
remember what it was. I think it was like 10 hours or 6 hours. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was. I literally just walked across the entire map.
It was so fun to just get out and really explore and just finding little towns that you
Oh
just
my
look.
goodness.
And the crazy thing was people living in those towns, seeing them work,
Yes.
gather things. I mean, the opening of Skyrim where you're going to be beheaded.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm telling you, I could not wait. And when I would get those
Running from the
games,
dragon and everything.
running
Oh my
from,
god.
oh
Yeah.
my, and the
Yeah.
dragon, that was nuts. That was just the best. I loved Oblivion because I loved how colorful it was. It was so bright and the missions were so fun. The
Sure.
story, but Skyrim was just, they just blew me away with Skyrim. I still have that and will not delete it. Pick it up and we'll go back in and play it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And just continue where I left off.
I love that game so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do. Really do. It's a man, it's a fun game. It's so
right. Can't wait for Starfield.
I literally was getting ready to ask you about that game because I saw, so there's a 45-minute video about what you can do in this game.
Yes.
And I literally messaged Jason. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna lose my life in this game. Like I'm a pirate from now on, and my life is now to pirate everything in the galaxy.
Absolutely.
Like I want every single planet of this game to be under my control.
I am, and it's so messed up because then you're gonna have Starfield, and whenever they release the new Elder Scrolls, you know, I'm done. You know, like Starfield, we've been waiting for that for years. We've been waiting for it.
Game like a week ago. I literally just I missed this one. Definitely, but I am hooked already. Like I can't wait for this game.
I've been waiting for. They've been talking about this game since Game Informer was sent to your house in a magazine before they stopped and you had to go online, because I had to get every single Game Informer to know about the gaming news. And I remember Starfield, they'd talk about it, and then it would be, we're canceling it. It's going to come out later. I mean, just throughout the years. And then finally to be able to see what I was able to see, that 45-minute video, I'm so excited.
They made a kaiju ship.
Yes.
Like it looked like it actually looked like Donkey Kong. Like it's just
the world. I mean,
oh my god, I want this game. Oh, there's over 1,000 planets. Like that was what blew me away when they said that. I'm like, oh my god.
It's a Skyrim to the 10th degree in space.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like it's weird because it's sort of like Call of Duty meets Red Dead Redemption meets Subnautica meets. I mean, there's so much in this game.
Very true.
So much in this game. Skyrim, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, that's another game. Subnautica. Did you play that series?
You know, I did not play that series.
Oh, it's a fun one.
Is it really?
Fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. You're stuck on like this water world, so it's underwater most of the time, but you get to build these bases and go and explore the planet, and there's a story you have to figure out. And
I would love that.
It's a really fun game. Yeah, it's like you're dealing with aliens and stuff. And
oh hell yeah,
it's really fun. Yeah, it's another game I got lost in. I literally had a base that was underwater that was probably in the game like a half a mile like big.
Wow.
Like, it was huge. I just kept. And you're literally by yourself in this game. And I just had this huge base that I would just run around in.
Okay. I'll check that out because that's something that I would love. I'm playing a Chernobyl. I'm playing a number of games. I'll just I have so many going and put that in and play that. But Chernobyl Light. That's another one where it's something. It's kind of like the Stalker series that's coming out. The Stalker game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. It looks like it's in that world, the Stalker world, because you are being stalked in Chernobyl Light by this entity. So you can jump in and out a world, and the world that you end up escaping from that stalker, you're now in that world. So your job is to go out and find different things to fight this stalker that is eventually going to catch up with you. So
Okay.
you're in Chernobyl, and you have this warehouse that you end up being in, and you can build your base. You can end up going in the world and finding men to come join your base and just get groups. It's so much fun. I'm having a great time. The guns are awesome. It's I'm still like kind of getting my bearings, you know, in the game because it's a little different, but it is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to just I just built a couple of things in my little warehouse. You have to feed the guys, make sure that the guys that are your top guys get good rooms or good beds, or it's a whole thing that you can do, and it is a lot of fun. And I just happen to pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chernobyl Light.
No, I like games like that. Like there was a game that came out. It was on the Game Pass. It was free. It was a zombie game. Oh my goodness. Something Days.
Oh my gosh, do I have that game?
It was a few, and then the second one came out like 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe.
Okay.
But it was a fun game. Again, the same thing. You know, you could build up. You had a home base. You could put up, you know, fencing around it and build up the inside and have defenses. And you know, you would get these random hordes of zombies that would attack you. So I love games like that. For sure.
I do too.
There's another game, Seven Days to Die. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, that has to be right. I've heard of that game, and that's another one.
That every 7 days you get like attacked by a horde, and you have to basically build up your base in that 7 days before you get attacked. And I've heard that was a really good game. I've played it a couple times, but I didn't get into it, so I can't even tell you like if it's a good, actually a good game or not. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that game. It's a really crazy premise though, like. You're just foraging for stuff for 6 days, and then all of a sudden you just get attacked, and you just have to survive. It's like,
that's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
So, yeah, there's a lot of games like Rust is another game that's similar like that. Yeah.
Yes, I think I played Rust. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are like that, but there's very few that are really good.
You know, I love the Telltale series, The Walking Dead. I thought
I haven't played it, but I've seen a lot of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Don!
It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah.
The fact that they had seasons.
Turn-based games very easily. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Like I do like them, but I do get bored with them a lot easier.
Right. I thought because I love games that are kind of shell shaded and look kind of comic bookish. I love those when you get a game like that, kind of like 13. I don't know if you played that, but that was another one that was shell shaded. You were this agent that was you're out to do something. You're out to do something, but anyways, it was kind of a sneak around game. Then you'd have shootouts, but the story was awesome. They just actually remastered it, 13, but really good. But I'm loving these shell shaded ones. So when I saw the Walking Dead game, Telltale played the first season, and I think there was 4 episodes in that season, and I'm telling you, I was absolutely hooked on that. I didn't think I'd like it. The way that they make you feel about the characters, kind of like when you're watching The Walking Dead and you get into the characters and you know Carol, and you don't want him to die, and you're just frightened that if something happens to him. That's exactly what they did in the Telltale Walking Dead. Like, this is your family, and when one dies, it's amazing. And when the series goes off and then the next episode comes on, they did a great job. They did a really great job with that.
Awesome. No, that's I've seen I've seen it. I just haven't really got into it, but yeah, the animation in it is beautiful. I do love the animation in it. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. And I do like the concept of it. It's not that I don't like that. I do like the concept of it, where you're going through and you have to make decisions.
Yes.
We had a lot of those when we were younger. Remember on the computers, there used to be all those games where there were so many of them where you had to make certain, they give you like 3 or 4 options you could choose from. And so yeah, I definitely grew up on those type of games. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, it's hard for me now, like, even to go back and play like Mario sometimes, because I'm just like, I can play a 3D game. Why am I playing this?
I do that. We have like Mario on the Wii, if we'd only hook it up, but you know, my son, he left his DS when he moved out. So he had the Mario on his DS. And, you know, once in a while, I'll take it out of the drawer and sit on the couch and get this fat DS and sitting there playing, you know, the Mario Brothers. But I am with you. It is hard to go back, like to go back and put in the original Resident Evil. I can't because I'm spoiled by the graphics and I've tried to. And it's like the controls were so bad. You never realize how bad how bad they were until we're playing games that we're playing right now. And we are absolutely spoiled.
I have,
like
I have the little mini, the little mini Nintendo that has, you know, sight bike on
that's
it.
right.
It has all the Marios. I mean, it has all the old games.
Awesome.
But when I go back and play, like I love Super Mario 3. Like that was my that was the one I spent the most time with.
Yes.
And it's just hard. Like it's hard for me to sit there and actually play through the whole thing. Like it's weird.
You get to a certain point and you're like, okay, I had my fill.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even an hour worth of playing for me. It's probably a half hour messing around, die too much. All right, I'm done. I've had a fun time. But yeah, I'm with you. It is hard to go back because the technology and the consoles, you know, that we have and the games, the way they're being made right now, it's just, yeah, it's hard.
And the response is still like the response time is still so bad.
Oh my God.
From hitting the button and the action where you have to time it so perfectly. And I haven't played those games in 20 some years. So I don't have the timing down anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Right. It's funny because it's like, I remember being good at those type of games, you know, and I remember being able to play a game and get stressed, but not, you know, I'm not tripping now. Like after playing those Parasite Eve games, because the earlier games to me are much more harder than the ones that we play now.
Oh yeah.
So,
absolutely.
You know, going back, it's like, I don't have the patience like that. You know, I don't want to get too worked up like that, you know, so I just can't, but back
then every game was like, oh, what's that one that just came out? Elden Ring.
Oh,
every game back then was like that. It was like the most unbeatable bosses, and just
it took you months for me, Resident Evil, to be on the boss to get done. I would have to take a break and come back months later to, and the whole time I'm thinking about it in my head. Okay, if I do this, if I put this cocktail together, and you know, you're planning it out for the next time you play.
Yes. Yeah.
Elden Ring.
People don't understand. Like you would do that. You would literally be like, all right, this did not work. Like this strategy did not work. What the hell do I have to do to beat this guy?
You really had to think about it. You had to take a break from it because it was hard. And when people laugh, because I'm like, it took me almost a year to beat the full game of the first Resident Evil. It did.
Oh, yeah.
I took months off. I'd have to think about it. I'd get strategy guides to figure out tips and tricks. Remember when Tips and Tricks came out, the magazine?
You could buy the whole magazine.
I would buy the whole magazine. Yes. Just to read and figure out how are they doing this.
Oh my God, yeah.
Elden Ring, I'll never finish it. I won't even.
They used to sell them at GameStop with the games as bundles.
Yeah,
you could
that's
buy
right. They sure did.
Buy the magazine with it. Yeah, I remember. Oh my God, wow.
You know, it's funny because being that we've moved, we've had to go through a lot of boxes and get a lot of things. All of our 3 boxes were full of just strategy guides that we had from PlayStation games, PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 1 games, just strategy guides from every game, every Grand Theft Auto. Because I was one of those where I loved the bundles. I had to get the walkthroughs with the Grand Theft Auto games, all 3 of them, because I wanted to know every single mission, where everything was, how I can complete this game. And it was just cool just to have it, you know, to have the extra map that they give you and the poster inside the walkthrough, you know. And some games, like the first Parasite Eve, you need a walkthrough. It's very confusing.
Oh, there's a lot of games back then we needed walkthroughs.
Yeah,
for sure. We didn't have, you know,
very confusing.
Go on YouTube and how do I beat this boss, or how do I beat this part of this level? Like, you couldn't do that.
You spent money. I mean, what was it? $40 for a game. And then the walkthrough was just as expensive. You're spending a lot of money when you walk out of the game store, making sure you have it all, because as a serious gamer, your job is to really know that game, because like you said, we don't have phones, you know, you had to search.
Yeah. You had to literally
and spend money to figure out how to do it, because they would not tell you.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah. It was
It was
not
the
long
best days
ago
of
either.
gaming, though. No, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. They made awesome games at that time. You know, I remember freaking having a Dreamcast and playing Crazy Taxi. I remember just.
Do you remember the Simpsons open world game?
Oh, yes.
I love that game. Hit and run. I love that.
That was one of the best ones. Remember the graphics, how beautiful.
Oh man,
everything and the noises that. Yes.
Yeah. To this day, I mean, Vice City is my favorite GTA just because I love the 80s aesthetic of it, the music and the 80s neon and all that.
Yeah.
But, it's the Scarface game.
Yes.
I mean, it's just everything about that game is so much fun. It's not the best GTA by far, but it's just the one I love the most. I just love that game.
That one was the hardest one.
Oh my God, yes.
Those missions were hard. Yes, absolutely.
That.
The race that you had to do in the streets, and you had to race that one guy with. I remember switching out cars, trying this car, trying to set up a bomb, hoping that I can throw a bomb. I tried. Did
you try killing the people? Because I tried killing people.
I tried to. That's the first thing. I'll kill him.
Yep.
Dead. You ruined the mission. I tried everything I can do to get that guy to get his car disabled, and you had to absolutely race. My son had to finish that mission for me, and it took him forever. I was like, Eli, I can't do it. I've died like 20 times.
I know exactly what you mean.
10 years old, and he did it his second try, and he was stressed out.
Yeah. Those games, that's what they did to you, man. They would literally stress you out.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to beat it. You had to beat it at that was the other great thing that games did was when you couldn't beat it, it made you still want to play. Where now games just kind of piss you off sometimes.
Yeah.
Where games back then you were like, no, I have to beat this.
Yes,
I can't not beat this. I have to beat it.
And remember, you couldn't progress in GTA. Remember,
nope.
Remember, and the way that they used to be in the early days of GTA was you could not get to certain areas of the world until you finished a certain amount of missions. Right. And then that place would open up and you could get across the bridge. But I remember trying to cheat by killing all the cops in GTA, the first GTA, killing all the cops on the bridge. And then you'd have them all coming in because I thought I'd just try to jump the barricade. Couldn't do it. Try to break through the barricade. Couldn't do it. Then realized I have to do these missions and I have to finish them. You had to do it in GTA.
There's nothing you could do.
You couldn't do anything. You had to do it to progress in the game, or else you're just stuck in that town, riding around and playing. You're not going anywhere.
Yep.
So you had to do it.
So kids out there, stop complaining about these newer games. You have no idea what we grew up with. You have no idea what we grew up with.
If I'm playing a game on easy mode, don't make fun of me. I put my time in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, look, now whenever I get a story game or a game that I really want to know what the story is, I play story mode first.
Same here. I'm story mode.
I don't care. Yep. Yes. I don't care. You can take your super hard expert mode. I don't want it.
No.
I want to play the story first. Then I might go back and play on a harder level just to have some fun. But I'm not doing that. I'm
with you.
I want to play the game. I just want to play the game, and I want to kill every monster in 2 hits. Sorry.
That's it. Thank you. I think I remember when finished up Skyrim, went back into play, and that's when they released the special edition where you can mod out the game.
Yeah.
Yes, I can mod the game out. Went back in, found that what was it? The arrow, the sling, I can't call it. Anyways, it was a one-shot, a bow, the bow and arrow. It was a glass bow and arrow that you find in a particular house down in the basement on top of the dresser, and it is your one-shot kill arrow, bow and arrow. I went and found that.
Anything?
Let me tell you, anything one shot.
Dragons?
Dragons. One shot.
Oh my God. No, I didn't know that.
One shot. Wow. It's in that first town that you start in at Whiterun. It's in Whiterun.
Yep.
And it's in the little cabin next door to the blacksmith. And you go in that house, and it's one that you buy. It's the house that you have to buy When you're in that town, you got to buy that one. That's the first house that you buy.
Okay.
And you go down, when you mod it out, you go down in the basement. There's a basement down there. And right on top of the shelves is a glass arrow. And once you get it, you go out and anything you can kill. And I needed that because there were certain missions where
Skyrim now.
Yeah, there was so much, and you just, when I found it, it was amazing. I was like, I got to have that. And then I went and did missions that, because remember, on some of the missions, as they get harder, you're fighting that one a dragon or Druon, and it's the one that can snatch the weapon, whatever you have, can snatch it out of your hand.
Yep. I know
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have the bow, one shot, he's gone.
Done. Oh my
Dragons,
God.
One shot.
Do you know how long it took me to kill the dragon at I don't know, you're up in the on top of the mountain, and
the very top,
you're in that building, and it's open,
yes,
and the dragon fights you from inside. It took me forever to kill that dragon.
Yes,
forever.
Right.
I'm so mad about that. And then the other one that you have to kill in Whiterun on top of the castle. The very first one.
That's the first one that you're in, because that's when I joined whatever mage or whatever I think it was the champions that I joined, the companions.
Yes.
And and it sat right up. So
oh my God.
The giants, running into the giants, which are very nice to you if you just don't mess with them. But I had to have and see what was in those chests that they had, and so I went and found that freaking arrow, and
I killed a lot of trolls for sure, or giants. Yeah.
The trolls were so hard in Oblivion. Don't you think they were the hardest things to kill? Were those freaking trolls?
I didn't like trolls. I definitely did not like.
They were so hard.
Yeah, I'm a bow and arrow person, so that's why I really want this bow and arrow now, because I didn't know about this, and now I want this because
it's the best.
That would have made my life so much easier trying to get to the damn game.
It's a whole new game. It's a whole new game. That's why I won't uninstall it. I still go back and play it, and then if you lose it, you just go back, and it reappears a few days later in the same area.
Oh man, I'm definitely getting that bow. That's mine now.
Absolutely.
Well,
there you go.
That. Yes, no, that's an awesome tip. I did not know about that. That is so great. That is so great. Okay, so I do want to talk about I do want to talk about this before we kind of get off here. So what got you into the YouTube space? I mean, where did that kind of start? How did that start, I guess?
Well, COVID had hit, and as far as acting, everything was closed down, couldn't get on set. So a lot of roles that I applied for were pretty much, just put on a back burner. Mm-hmm. So John ended up hitting me up, and maybe this was pre-COVID, but John ended up hitting me up and on Instagram. He's like, hey, I introduce himself, and I have this podcast or YouTube channel. I'd love to interview you. So he interviewed me, and that's before we had StreamYard. So it was just an audio interview. And he was the first person that I interviewed with as far as the acting. And after that, he would invite me back for like, hey, would you like to come and do a top 10 this and a top 10 that? And I'm like, sure. And so he introduced me to podcasting and YouTube and all of that. Never, ever thought about it. I just go on his show and was just happy to go on his show. And then he was like, maybe it was a year later. He's like, you should do this. And I'm like, nah. I'll come on your show. It took a lot for him to be like, Rossie, I think you should do this. So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, got a new computer, got the microphone. He told me everything I need to get, hooked it all up for me. And I was doing Rossie Talks and did my first show and really was like, that's really cool. I like that. But I was really nervous, I remember talking just really, really fast because I'm trying to get through this review and just get the hell out of here. And I remember looking back at my earlier episodes and I'm talking so fast because I'm so nervous. I'm not used to doing this.
I'm still nervous doing this.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes. I get nervous every time. I really do. And it's not like I don't know what I'm doing. It's just more of like I'm very bad at the intros and the outros. Like that's where I feel like I'm not good. Okay. So like those are always weird for me sometimes.
Right.
But No, it's yeah, I do. I definitely get nervous still because I'm
Yeah.
not. I was normally a shy kid mostly
Yep.
growing up.
Same.
So
Yep.
yeah. So for me, it was weird when Ben asked me to, or Ben basically asked if anybody wanted to do it. I was like, man, I really would like to do that. So yeah. And John has been amazing. John is
Oh,
he's one of the best. He really is.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
anytime I have a question about anything, it doesn't matter
Right.
what it is. He is so willing to help out.
Absolutely.
You know, coming on and doing Titans with us and having me
Yeah.
on his shows and just meeting you guys through him too. I mean, it's been so great. I mean, I met you, I met Rossie, I met Tamika, I met
Right.
Anthony, you know, just so many people through him already. So
Oh, same here. He's always he's really good at networking. He's really good at reaching
yeah,
out to people. Like he'll ask if he don't care if you're a plus A list Hollywood star. He will ask for you to come on and be on the show.
yeah.
And he's
Oh,
always
he's
just been
so
so
excited about
kind,
that
you
interview. I
know?
don't want to talk about it, but he's so excited about that interview he got.
Yes,
I'm
that's
so happy for him.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm so
That's
happy for
crazy.
him.
Only him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and so he taught me so much, and just a salt of the earth person,
yeah,
really good, just a good person. So I'm so happy that he was able to teach me, and like I said, I'm still learning.
oh yeah,
There's things that will happen, and I'll be like live on a show, and he'll come into my studio and fix whatever and add whatever and then dip out. And I appreciate that, but always available and just want to do what's best for everyone. He wants us all to grow and to
yeah,
see where he was when I was with him. He was at 121 followers on YouTube.
mm-hmm.
And to see him go from that to where he is now and the
Yeah,
interviews, it's amazing. So yeah, I adore John.
yeah. Oh no, I love John. Really, he's a great guy. He's a great friend.
Yes.
He really is. Like I said, anytime I've had a question about anything, thumbnails, shorts,
Right. Right.
whatever it is, editing, anything. I
Yeah.
mean, and even if he doesn't know, he's like, hey man, you know, reach out to this person. They might know.
Yeah.
They
Right.
help me
Yes.
with it. So
Yeah.
he's so generous. And that's the I think that's what you need when you're in this space because it is so much that you don't know. Like
Yes. Right.
you know, when I was doing this with Ben, I didn't know about any of the stuff what he was doing behind the scenes. I just, you know,
Right.
I showed up, I did the shows, I had
Same
fun.
here.
It was
Yep.
a great time. You know, I
That's what
didn't
I
know.
did.
And then he passed away and I sort of had to take over everything. And it's like, man, I wish I would have known what you were doing behind or what he was
Right.
doing behind the scenes. Just, you know, there's just so much that goes into it. And just having people around you that are willing to
Yeah.
help you in that way. And yeah, it's been such a lifesaver for our channel for sure.
Yeah. Right.
Having John, I would
Because he
say,
knows it. He knows
yeah,
so much. Like he knows, like he
yeah,
really knows YouTube, the in and outs, and he can make a short like nobody's business. I mean, I don't know what it is. What I tried it, and he's just
can't
really
do
good
it.
with
I can't do it.
everything behind. I tried it. I tried to use Canva. I just it's too I don't understand it quite yet, and I'm still trying to learn. I'm
Yeah,
doing my own little thing, but John just it's like, could you do this for me? Could you take care of this for me? And he does a lot behind the scenes for Alex and I, you know.
yeah. No, yeah. John, like you said, John, if you're out there watching this one, man, thank
Right.
you for everything. Seriously. You still suck though. We love you. No, we love you.
And
That's all.
Frito, by the way, I must say that meeting you and Frito, John kept talking about you too, and we did meet on the Last of Us panel
Yes.
show, but to really get to know you guys, and when I wanted to do my video, you know, gaming monthly show, and he was like, you know, Frito and Don, I'll reach out to them, and I'm like, okay, and then when you guys just came on the show, it's just been like I adore you guys. You guys are so fun. You guys are just excited about it just as much as, you know, Eli and I are excited about it. And so that was a great hookup. He did. I told him, they're awesome, John. Thank you so much. He's like, I knew you like them.
Yeah, no, we definitely, yeah, that was when, and it's John, you know, because and I knew I knew you from the Last of Us, and I was like,
Right.
oh yeah, immediately, yeah, definitely, I'll do that.
That's I was like, yeah.
And I told, you know, I sort of told Jason the same thing. I was like, man, yeah, It's like she's really cool. You'll definitely get along with her. I said we'll definitely easily be able to fit in with that.
Sure, Jason.
And then having you back, you know, on ours, or well, his show,
so much fun
for the Call of Duty and stuff. Yeah. So now, yeah, that's was the main goal of the Benverse was the community part and being able to have a group of people that we can sort of, you know, hey, I need a host tonight. Can you come on? Or hey, you know, hey, do you like this topic? Come on this show with us. So that's what this was supposed to be about. And I think, especially for our channel, and it's probably my fault more than anybody else, but I got so wrapped up in trying just to run the channel after Ben passed that I sort of didn't fall away from it, but it wasn't in the forefront of my mind because I was trying to make sure the channel didn't go anywhere. But now that we are doing more collabs with other channels, and especially like with you and John too, for sure, it's definitely been a lot more fun because we get to open up more things and have more people's views on it. Like we've had Marie, I don't know if from Taco's channel.
No.
Okay, Marie, she was in the Schmodown, but we had her on for one of our Star Wars episodes, and she was great to have on. So just having different people in different perspectives is always fun because I don't want to hear myself talk about everything.
No, I'm with you. That's why I love people to sit with me. I don't want to shoot a show by myself too much, you know. And John's like, well, you got to get used to that. And I'm like, I will. And he'll offer to come and sit with me, like doing the series that I'm doing, you know. I enjoy having someone to sit and do the back and forth with. You know, I'll shoot a show by myself, you know, but I appreciate someone being there. To me, it's just much more interesting to get, you know, what do you think, you know, about this? It's just, it's a better show to me, you know. So I'm with you. I enjoy the company.
I like just sitting around with friends and just having these conversations because like I said, you know, growing up in the 90s, I didn't get to do this. I never got to have these conversations where now I can talk about, oh no, Boba Fett is way better than Aragon or, you know, whatever it is. Like I can have these stupid conversations that I've always wanted to have. And it's been really great. Just like I said, meeting everybody and kind of doing, you know, just figuring this whole thing out. But yeah, I can't wait because we have some more rankings, so we'll definitely have you guys back for those.
Eli and I are ready. He had a great time. He loved it. He's like, that's so awesome how they set that up and the rankings and all that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, we loved having you guys on for sure. Definitely. No, me and Jace were talking today about it. So we definitely have some ideas for other rankings we want to do. Mortal Kombat and, you know, stuff like that. So.
Listen, you got to jump in there with my son. If you let him, he'll go. That kid loves to talk games. I mean, we're a gaming family, you know. So
he knew everything about it. I've played all the Call of Duties. Don't get me wrong, but I can't remember everything like that.
The way that I was like, oh my gosh, Eli, I got it. That's why I had to bring him onto the gaming channel. I'm like, would you do this for me? Because my older son's like, no, Mom, I'm not. But my Eli, he was like, sure, I'll come on. And when he came on that first time, and he had a book with him, I'm like, and he showed me his notes, and I'm like,
with you when he showed up, I was like, oh my god, he has like legitimate notes. I didn't know it was that.
Yes, I'm like, wow, he loves it. He loves talking games. He's into it. So yeah.
Oh, he's perfect for that. He definitely should. Yeah, he should be doing something like this. If not with you, definitely on his own. Yeah,
that's what I told him. I'm like, this is. I think you found.
He has a Twitch, right? Didn't he say he has a Twitch?
He's actually on Trovo. And he streams on there. He streams 7 days a week, and gosh, he's actually getting paid from that. Like
that's awesome.
I just can't. I don't know when he's talking about selling accounts and selling. I don't know gaming like that to where you sell your online accounts. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm old school. You know what I mean? I'm old school. I don't know about all that. That's these kids today. They're selling and making money off of accounts.
Away when I found out about mods for like Skyrim and GTA and stuff. That blew me away. I was like, wait a minute, you can do what you want. I was like, holy crap. Yeah. I'm not that type of gamer either. But yeah, that's awesome because he has the personality for it for sure. But he has the knowledge too. For sure, he has the knowledge.
That's his thing. So,
yeah, absolutely. He's perfect for streaming and talking about games. He definitely needs his own show or
I'm working on that.
Definitely. That's fun. Yeah, no, he was great to have on too. that was a surprise because I was not. We are. We are nowhere near like prepared. I mean, not that we don't come prepared, but
no, I get it. I get
we
it.
don't take notes and stuff.
I get it. No, he's
yeah.
I was shocked when he showed me him. I mean, he wrote an essay, and I'm like, I'm like, wow, I just said bring notes, but not
oh, he had a
or know something
argument
about the game.
He had a legitimate argument for every game,
yes.
man. It was great. It was really fun. That was a really fun episode. No, that's great. Yeah, I think we sort of talked about everything. Yeah, let everybody know where they can find you though, Rossie, because you are doing some things out there now.
Thank you. Let's see. You can find me on my Instagram at McCree123hotmail.com. You can also go and subscribe to Rossie Talks on YouTube. Let's see. I have another podcast. I actually have a studio that I go into. It's Rossie's Clubhouse. You can find that on YouTube as well and subscribe. And Rossie Lynn on my Facebook, and Rossie Lynn Bark 1 on Twitter.
All right, awesome. Yeah, definitely check out what she's doing, guys, because yeah, we had a lot of fun doing her show, and like I said, this just working with them and getting to know them recently has been so much fun. So you will definitely see us working together in the future for sure. So yep. Guys, you can find me on Twitter at Jedi Master Tuck. You can find me in the Facebook groups, Benverse, Multiverse of Geekdom, Titans of the Turf. You can also find me on Instagram, Jedi Master Tuck. Multiverse of Geekdom's on there too. Titans of the Turf is on there. And you guys can find me on Multiverse of Geekdom, obviously, on YouTube. That is the main channel. That is where we have fun and talk about everything from Star Wars to, I don't know, anything. It could be anything. Depends on what we feel like talking about that day. But guys, thank you. Rossie, again, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate it. This was so much fun getting to know you a little more.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to working with you in the future. But
absolutely. Same here.
Guys, yeah, until next time, I am Jedi Master Tuck. Rossie's over here. And we will see you guys next time on the Multiverse of Geekdom. Bye-bye. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.